He's been testing and using these products with his clients and patients around the world and seeing the difference. But this has all come together to launch this in partnership with Alivea to take around the world. So, Dr. Wilson, I'd love for you heard a lot tonight. You heard a lot of
Oh,
incredible testimonies.
fabulous.
Yeah, how does that feel for you? And can you share with everybody listening kind of maybe a kind of a wrapping up overview on the science and the technology of what they're taking and why somebody would want to be taking this?
Love to. Thank you, Craig. What an exciting evening. I love hearing it. It's just, but this is what we expect, actually, because when you work with nature, nature works with you. And that's what we're about. We're about working with nature. We know that nature, used properly, creates the right benefits and creates the right outcomes. That's what we're about. You know, this technology that we're talking about is an understanding that has been in the works for a long time. Back in 1905, Einstein wrote his famous E equals MC squared, which shows and sorry, it's been a long day, demonstrated that everything is energy. And then Tesla, a few years later, he said that healing and health is going to be related to vibration and energy. Well, if everything is energy, how can health be anything but energy and the function of energy? Now, matter by itself is just matter. It has no function, it has no movement to it. But when you put the element of life on matter, the life structures the matter and creates the activity. Now, there's many different kinds of energy. There's energy of matter, and there's the energy of function, and there's the energy of structure. As humans, where do we get that? Where do we find that? Now, there's been a lot of history on how energy affects the human body. Royal Raymond Rife, back in the 1920s, on the front page of the Los Angeles Times, was considered a hero because he was able to show how energy could affect the body and particularly dealing with microbes. But he was using instrumentation. Instrumentation is wonderful, but it doesn't have the flow of life to it. Life is a very special pathway. It starts from the sun, gets transferred to the plants, and then is biotransferred to us as humans. Now, as humans, we're very complex. And so understanding the human physiology in combination with the benefits from the plants and organizing the plants on the basis of our human physiology creates the function that we need to be active and for our body to work in simple terms. So then how do we take all of that information from the plants and deliver it in a form that is useful and practical? Because the ability to support all the functions of the body with the different plants takes hundreds of plants because our systems are very complex. So how do you do that? It's a very complex process. So then you take the energy, because if you could remove the matter, because the matter and the energy of matter takes a lot of space. If you remove the matter and just capture the energy, of which I've been working on for the past 13 years, you remove the matter, capture the energy, you store it in the water, and now you have a convenient, complex structure of water that now captures all of those essences of the plants that now support the life flow of in the body. Like Cam was mentioning earlier, it's flow, that's life. Now the human, like all structures, all living beings, has a rhythm to it. It has a day and a night. For us who are diurnal, so we have more active during the day and we sleep at night. Other animals are more active at night, sleep in the day. Everything has a rhythm where it goes on and off. All systems have to work and have to rest and recovery. And that's what a good night's sleep does. A good night's sleep allows your body to recover. A good active day allows your body to experience. If you don't have the energy to experience the day, you don't create memory for learning how to adapt to the next day. So you have to have your systems functioning and operating to create a pattern of activity during the day so that your system can dial in to the daytime changes, because health is about learning. Now, some people come at this at different levels at different times of life. And some people will find their results to be most expedient, and that's what we want. Others, like we've heard, some have a little bit of difficulty getting started with their sleep. These things take time to restructure, to repattern. We live in habits. And if we live in habits, then those habits are deeply embedded in our system, and it takes time to just reconstruct our habits, to reform, to rebuild the habits. And the good thing about working with nature, it's like working with physics or chemistry or as an engineer. You know that there's predictability, there's a consistency, there's a dependability to nature. It's always going to respond in the same patterns. An engineer knows the structural integrity of the metal he's working with. A chemist knows that if he mixes his compounds, it's always going to come out the same, because nature is very dependable and consistent. The same thing with health. If you add the right elements in, you add all the right timings in, you're going to have consistent results. Now, being human and being complex structures, being physical, we have other elements involved, because our body is a collection of all the energies it experiences. So it experiences our thoughts, our emotions, our environment, our actions. All these things are recorded and stored within our systems. And so what it is, it's a tool for us to experience life, learn about life. And I'll say that in working with nature, it's interesting. Nature has a personality to it. When you look at how nature works with us. It doesn't dictate to us. It doesn't tell us what to do. It gives us a lot of freedom to act. But what nature does require for us to do is to participate. We need to act with nature. We need to interact with nature. And as we interact with nature, as we do follow our own path, each person has the freedom of health to then follow their own path, to recover from their experiences, to recover from the experiences of life. Then we can then invest into a better life for the next day. And that's what we're about. Having a better day, having a better next day. And that's what warms my heart, it warms my wife's heart, Pamela. That just warms our family's heart. That's just how we live. And we've done that. I've been a natural healthcare provider for 45 years now. I've adjusted 1.3 million patients or adjustments. I've counseled and worked with 300,000 people. I've seen what works, and more as importantly, I've seen what doesn't work. And I know nature is dependable. Nature is consistent. You can trust nature to provide your results. And weight management is just about normal function. If we look at the greatest comorbidity that's taking place, which is the expression of a poor weight management, what that just really shows us is that the body is struggling for function. The body is working towards a better day, but it can't quite get there. It never gives up, but it just can't quite get there. And so as we impart better function, as we give the body the ability to adapt, then it starts to do what it's intelligently designed to do. Then it creates a better outcome, a better day, a healthier day, a more energetic day, a better rest. It creates a better life, and it creates more life day by day. And that's what we do.